right, let's look at lesson 3, which is mean absolute deviation, or for short, we sometimes call it the MAD, and it will drive you mad only because it's very easy to make mistakes when you are plugging things into the calculator. So, the mean absolute deviation is the average difference between each value, data value, and the mean. So basically, we're going to find the mean. We're going to find the distance each value in the data set is away from that mean. What is important to note is that the distance is always going to be positive no matter whether the value is above or below. So for example, if we have the number 60 as our mean, 64 is higher than the mean, right? It's 4 away from the mean. 56 is lower than the mean. We're not going to say minus 4. We would still say it is 4 away from the mean. So distance will always be positive. We're going to add those distances together and divide the sum by the number of values in the data set. And just be careful as you're plugging it in, because if you make one little mistake, it's going to mess up the whole thing. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to calculate the mean. So I'm going to plug into my calculator. 58 plus 88 plus 40 plus 60 plus 72 plus 66 plus 80 plus 48. We get a total of 512. To find the mean, we divide by the number of values. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 values. So 512 divided by 8 gives us a mean of 64. So now what we're going to do is we are going to find the difference between each number and 64. I'm always just going to start with our mean of 64 and subtract each value. So 64 minus 58 is equal to 6. 64 minus 88 is equal to, it says negative 24, but again, we're just going to always do the positive distance, so 24 away. 64 minus 40, 64 minus 40 is equal to 24. 64 minus 60 equals 4. 64 minus 72 is equal to, it says negative 8, but we're going to do 8. 64 minus 66 is equal to 2. 64 minus 80 is equal to 16, ignoring that negative. And then 64 minus 48 is equal to 16. So all of these should match up. This is the distance for each of these. Okay? So we found the distance each number is away from the mean. Now we're going to find the average of these distances. So I'm just going to add these up and divide by the number of values, just like we do for the normal mean. So I'm going to add 6 plus 24 plus 24 plus 4 plus 8 plus 2 plus 16 plus 16 equals a total of 100. We divide by the number of values, which should still be 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 values. So 100 divided by 8 is equal to 12.5. So our MAD is 12.5, which means on average, each value is about 12.5 away from the mean, either 12.5 above or 12.5 below. Let's look at the next one. So again, to find the MAD, if it's mean absolute deviation, we need the mean first. So I'm going to add these guys up. 0 is included, so 0 plus 15 plus 8 plus 11 plus 9 plus 7 plus 10, which equals 60. divided by, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let me just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When I divide 60 by 7, I get a really long decimal, so I get about 8.571. I'm going to stop it right there. You're going to drive yourself insane if you use all of these decimal values, so we're going to round. The 7 tells me to round my 5 up to a 6, so I'm rounding this to 8.6. Now, we are going to subtract to see how far each number is away from the mean. So I'm going to do 8.6 minus 0, which is just going to be 8.6. 8.6 minus 15 is 6.4. 8.6 minus 8 is just 0.6. 8.6 minus 11 is equal to 2.4. 8.6 minus 9 is equal to 0.4. 8.6 minus 7 is equal to 1.6. And 8.6 minus 10 is equal to 1.4. Now to find the MAD, we are finding the average of these distances. So we are adding these up. So let's clear that all. 8.6 plus 6.4, and be careful when you're plugging in decimals. It's very easy to miss that. Plus 0.6 plus 2.4 plus 0.4 plus 1.6 plus 1.4, and I get 21.4. Divided by, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 values. We get a long decimal, 3.0571. Again, I'm going to round to the nearest tenth. My 5 tells me to round my 0 up to a 1, so we are rounding that to 3.1. All right, number 3. First thing we're doing, we are finding the mean. So I'm adding 43 plus 20 plus 30 plus 2 plus 60 plus 15 plus 45 plus 30 plus 40 plus 57 plus 20 plus 10 equals 372. Divided by, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 values. 372 divided by 12 equals 31. So our mean is 31. So we are going to find how far each of these numbers is away from 31. So 31 minus 43 equals 12. 31 minus 20 equals 11. 31 minus 30 is 1. 31 minus 2 is 29. 31 minus 60 is 29. 31 minus 15 is 16. 31 minus 45 is 14. 31 minus 30 is 1. 31 minus 40 is 9. 31 minus 57 is 26. 31 minus 20 is 11. And 31 minus 10 is equal to 21. So to find the MAD, we're finding the average of these distances. So let's add up these distances. 12 plus 11 plus 1 plus 29 plus 29 plus 16 plus 14 plus 1 plus 9 plus 26 plus 11 plus 21 equals 180. Divided by, there were 12 data values, so 180 divided by 12 is equal to 15. So our MAD is 15. Last one, and then just one quick reminder, what I can't remind you enough of is be really careful when plugging things into the calculator, and you want to double check to make sure your mean is right, because if your mean is wrong, all of this work is wrong, and your answer is going to be wrong. So the following table shows how many contacts each person has on their phone. Find the mean absolute deviation. So what I'm going to do, just to make it easier, is I'm going to write out the numbers on the first line here. So 112, 104, 94, 154, 135, 98, just so that it's ready to go. Let's first find the mean. So I'm going to add these up. 112 plus 104 plus 94 plus 154 plus 135 plus 98 is equal to 697. Divided by, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 values. So 697 divided by 6 is 116.166, and so on. So I'm going to round to the nearest tenth. The 6 is telling me to round my 1 up to a 2, so I'm rounding this to 116.2. Now let's find those distances. So I'm going to do 116.2 minus 112, which is 4.2. 116.2 minus 104 is equal to 12.2. 116.2 minus 94 is equal to 22.2. 116.2 minus 154 is equal to 37.8. 116.2 minus 135 is equal to 18.8, and 116.2 minus 98 is equal to 18.2. So let's add up these distances. 4.2 plus 12.2 plus 22.2 plus 37.8 plus 18.8 plus 18.2 equals 113.4 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 values is equal to 18.9. So our MAD is 18.9.